Thank you for being here. How can we help you?
All right, I didn't want to take up too much of your time. I know you're probably gonna watch the finals and stuff tonight. Um, I
Finals
just
of what?
the NBA final. It's the final
Oh, I
game.
don't watch sports.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not a big sports guy either. But so my thing is my goal by December, I need to transition from frontline. I can't keep being in the field because I be getting too many calls. I be trying to lock in clients. I be trying to market, and I literally just can't do everything. Right. So I just
Hmm.
got to build out a more sustainable team. And my
Hmm.
goal isn't to be moving furniture like just on the front line with it. Like I just feel like I can be far more impactful
Hmm.
because I'm good at communicating with the clients. I'm good at being the because I got some guys that work with me, they're way better at moving than I am, like moving. But
Hmm.
they're not as good as like client acquisition or following up with the clients, like all that those other non-technical skills that are like equally, if not more important to like retaining clientele, getting referrals, to setting up appointments, to making sure the guys get there on time and things like that. So when they get there, they do a phenomenal job. But
Hmm. Hmm.
I feel like I would be better in that role. That way I can kind of like manage multiple teams, multiple jobs. But if I'm locked in, landlocked into a particular job myself, it's just hard to
Hmm.
account and even maximize potential income.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
You're correct 100% all the way around. What you're saying is 100% correct. Let me ask you a couple questions so I can get a foundation of where you're at. What city
Okay.
are you located
I'm in Atlanta, a very busy city.
in? Okay. You're in Hotlanta. How long you been in business?
Uh, I've been doing roughly just 2 years in June. I started off just helping some friends do it on the side and just kept doing it, never intended to be a mover. Just couldn't keep a job. So
Okay.
I got
So,
into it.
all right, cool. What got you into this?
So basically I was helping a friend and he was working at a gym. And so I guess his cousin told him about, hey, bro, you can make some money if you move some of those clients at that affluent gym you work at, because they had like a lot of high earning
Hmm.
clientele that came there. And so he started helping clients out, renting trucks through U-Haul and Penske and stuff like that. So of course, if you keep doing that down the line, you're gonna need men. So he did what most people do. You start tapping to your friend network. And so I helped him out on a couple of jobs. Then I was like, dang, like we get paid the same day, and then it's more money than because I was delivering food. So I'll be out there
Okay.
delivering food for like 9 hours and may only get $70.
Oh,
So
okay.
when I worked with
So you're doing
him,
like DoorDash or
yeah, it was something
Uber
called
Eats,
Chow
like
Bus. Yeah, and you just deliver Chinese food all day. And I was just like burning more gas. So I probably was profiting probably like $40 a day. So when I got like a little taste of the moving, I was like, oh, it's dope. But like the longer I've been in it, it's like it's cool, but it can be a lot on the body too. So some guys
you're
don't care, but me, sometimes like, bro, like this is a lot. And then I'm one of those type of people. I like to do volume. So if I made money there, I want to make money. But sometimes with the moving, like you have to take a break. Well, at least I do. Like I'd be like, damn, I need to let my body rest a little bit because the last 2 days was hell.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah,
we're yeah. I mean, I know what you're talking about. I mean, I've been out on the truck myself doing the loads, unloads. I mean, right now we're going through a little heat phase where everything's like 90 degrees or above right now.
yeah,
So
that's how
we're
it
in
is. Yeah,
Atlanta. Okay, so you said how long have you been doing this for? A year, 2 years?
about just at 2 years.
About 2 years. Okay. And uh, I looked you up here online. It looks like you really the only thing that you're really doing is thumbtack. That's where you're getting your jobs, right?
Yeah, see, that's where I'm trying to improve at. So I started on Thumbtack. We was doing Thumbtack because, like I said, I never intended to take it serious. Thumbtack. So I was helping my friend. Then we jumped on moving help on U-Haul. Then we jumped on Thumbtack. And then he reached back like a year later. He said, "Bro, you still doing Thumbtack?" And I was like, "Yeah." So now I'm at like 156 reviews. And so he was like, "Bro, you're gonna have to diversify." So then we built the Instagram page, but now I got to develop the website. I just got the Google business page probably like 2 months ago. So I'm up to like 15, 16 reviews on there. So then I'm trying to set up the Yelp page, then the Facebook page, and things like that. But
Okay.
another thing too, the reason why I ain't gonna lie, the reason just to be transparent, the reason why I've been a little hesitant on that because just like from Thumbtack and referrals and me passing out my business cards and I do yard signs too alone, sometimes we do get a high level of in like clients that's trying to book at the same time. And I'm like, dang, I got to get my systems better because
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you see what I'm saying? Because you want to make sure you have guys, and sometimes guys that go get more full-time jobs. So sometimes you might lose a good guy or two. So you got to replace that guy. And
Mm-hmm.
so when I get that flow of clientele, I want to make sure I have the capability to accommodate those moves. Because I want some bigger moves because I primarily been focusing on apartment residential moves.
Mm-hmm.
And and I and you know a lot of those clients. Another thing with like Thumbtack, you get a lot of clients that want like they're like very budget sensitive.
Right.
So you got guys on there. I was just talking to Thumbtack. I was like, you guys got to change this. So their goal this year is to make it so you only get charged if the client agrees to work with you because I shouldn't be getting charged for Jay who wants to move from the third floor of an apartment to a townhouse. He got stuff going upstairs and he got beds need to be disassembled, reassembled, TVs taken out of the mount, and he wants to pay peanuts. And it's always somebody on those platforms
Mm-hmm.
that would do it for and because I was one of them because I was like, oh, this guy got 150 reviews. I only got 3. You know what? I do this job for cheap to build myself up. So it's not fair if I get charged $40 for a lead, and the only reason I can't do it because I literally can't go that low because it wouldn't even make sense. You see what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Yeah, so just dealing with a lot of problems simultaneously, but the ultimate goal is just to build more systems out, build a stronger team, and market better, and just land like higher. Whether I have to tap into some type of start doing corporate moves or something like that, but like just higher payouts because we do a good job, as you probably can tell if you ever look at my Thumbtack. Like we don't really tear up furniture like that. We wrap stuff well. We're very mannerable and stuff like that, but it for
Well,
the
I see. Yeah, I'm looking at you. You're got an excellent rating. You got a 4.9 stars,
Mhm,
157 reviews. You
mhm,
got a good. Your thumbtack is well optimized.
mhm.
So that's great. How much are you charging for a load or an unload per hour?
Uh, on average, 2 men. Say if it's like a short distance move, they're only going like 10 miles down the road. It'll be like $99 an hour. Then we'll charge like an extra hour for total travel time. That $99 an hour comes with 2 men.
And do you have a minimum, like 2 hour minimum?
Yeah, so usually I try to do a 2 or 3 hour minimum. Yeah,
Okay. Um. All right. Fair enough. You got to raise your prices.
yeah, I do.
Yep. You got to raise your price. Well, here's the thing: if you want to get off the truck,
Yeah.
you've already done a lot of the right things. All right.
Hmm.
So you do need to increase your volume of jobs,
Yeah.
right? But the first thing you need to do on Thumbtack Tech is you got 157 reviews. You could
Yeah.
start commanding higher rates on Thumbtack,
Yeah.
right? Because of your reviews and the fact that you've been consistent on it.
Hmm.
So my suggestion, I charge if someone calls me, right, calls my phone number and
Hmm.
say, hey, we want you to help unload a truck or load a truck for us, right? We charge 145 an hour with a 2 hour minimum. Time starts when we leave our shop to the time we get back to our shop.
Hmm.
So that's called dock to dock. Right? That's our full price. Now we do work with Moving Helper and Hire a Helper and some of these other third-party platforms, which you should get on if you're not on them. Again, because you're going to be coming on new. If you haven't been on those before, if you become on, you're going to have to start and build up your reputation on those platforms. One thing that I have found is being on Hire a Helper or Moving Helper. A lot of people come to me because they found me on Hire a Helper, or they found me on Hire a Helper, and they have found me, then called me up because they did a Google search on me.
Yeah.
Right. So then they end up hiring me at my full price, except at my full price, because they'd rather go through me than a third-party service.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a small percentage, but it's more than enough for it to not be rare. You know what I mean? I get enough people. So one thing you need to start doing is you do need to get a website, right? Does it have to be a fancy website? As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put in the chat. I'm gonna put a website that I'm gonna show you. I found. I've consulted with this guy and several times now on this guy, and this guy's got a real simple website, right? But it's very effective. It gets the job done, right? So go to that website, and he does it on WordPress. Real simple, easy peasy, lemon squeezy website, right? It's no frills, no, you know what I mean? Just simple it's a 5-page website, but the front page, the home page is a very simple. Here's what we do. Call us. Boom, nothing more, right? And it's very simple. It doesn't have to be fancy, right? When you're starting off, it doesn't need to be fancy. It just needs to be effective. And this website is very effective. But all you need to do is get a good website. I would suggest you hooking up with going to a Hostinger or some sort of WordPress hosting site, GitHub, Hostinger, whatever. I like Hostinger because one, you could pay a yearly fee for like $200 and get 4 years of a website hosted for you. And they have AI, and they can literally create a website for you, right, through AI. You just
really? What's that site?
You just go there, and they literally can create you a 1, 2, 3, 4 page website for you that looks good, has everything you need for it, and they'll host it for you and put it up for you and get it working, right? Plus, if you get Hostinger, they'll, depending on the plan you get, they'll get you a free domain name as part of the package.
Okay.
So you don't even have to pay for your domain name, but they'll create a website for you and everything. I think you should do that. It'll cost you for 4 years. It'll cost you for about $200 for a 4-year plan.
And you said they can incorporate AI features and stuff too. That's dope.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they can create some AI, but they have a thing where you can use AI that will create a literal website for you. So you don't need to hire anybody to create a website for you or nothing. You just put in the stuff. They'll create the website for you and host it.
Okay.
So it's definitely something. $200 and you're up and rolling. And for the next 4 years, you've got a website and everything else. But you need to use that website and get yourself on Facebook, Yelp, which I see that you are already on Yelp. But you need to get a Facebook business page. You need to get an Instagram page, a Pinterest page, a LinkedIn page, Yelp. All the major social media platforms, you need to have some sort of presence on that.
Good. Okay. I'm glad you brought that up. So it's a chance that that's not me on Yelp. So I guess it's somebody local that has my same business name, Express Movement Services, and
Mm.
they got some reviews on their Yelp that are horrible, and I don't want to
Um,
get mixed up with those guys, but they got the exact same name, Express Movement Services, and I was like, damn, like, because some of their reviews are horrible.
I see Express Movers has the same name, which is very similar. But then there's one for you, which is Express Moving Services Georgia. They don't have any reviews.
Oh yeah, that's mine. That's the one I just set up. Yeah,
Okay,
that's the one. That's
but
mine.
then there's
Okay,
Express Movers. Now, unfortunately, you chose a name that is going to be pretty, you know,
come yeah,
common. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, you could have chose something else, like
yeah,
but you didn't, and that it's
mm,
okay.
yeah,
Um, you're just going to have to hopefully on Yelp you can differentiate yourself differently
mm, yeah.
from Express Movers. Um,
Mm-hmm,
but you definitely need to get there. I don't particularly like Yelp because Yelp is pretty unscrupulous, in my opinion. And I say
mm-hmm.
in my opinion so they can't sue
So
me.
they charged me $300 some. So like I set up an account, right? And then I put my debit card on it, and I got where they're trying to charge me. My bank keeps blocking it. But when I try to call customer service, I'm never able to get in contact. That's one thing I do
Yeah,
like about that. You can always get in contact with a live agent. With Yelp, you can never get in contact with
it's
anybody.
because they're a scam. It's a scam. They won't. If you get any positive reviews, they won't post them. But if you get a negative review, it'll be front and center on your page. And they do that to force you to pay their exorbitant amount of thing for their leads and and they do it on purpose. They know that they do it on purpose. They try to gaslight everybody when they're trying to sell it to say they don't, but they do. They've been sued for
Mhm,
this many times. There's been class action lawsuits. Unfortunately, no one ever wins because what they're doing is not illegal. It's immoral, it's unethical, but it's not illegal. And they get around it that way. So and of
mhm,
course they're based out of California, so California is very progressive and liberal. So it is what they donate a lot to those liberal things, so they get away with a lot of stuff that they really shouldn't. But
mm,
that's my personal opinion. You can do what you want. I
mm.
would I would just create a profile. But what you need to do is you need to, especially your Google business profile, you really need to optimize it um, effectively. I'm going to give you my name to mine. I want you to
Okay.
use my Google business profile as an example of how you need to
Okay.
optimize yours. So let me get this up for you. I'll get this will give you an idea of how to actually just go to my company name in Lansing, Michigan, right? And just look
Okay.
at my Google business profile, right?
All
And
right.
then everything that you see on my Google business profile, do the same to yours,
Okay.
right? Now you said you've only done this for the last couple of months and you've already got 17 5-star reviews on your Google business. That's excellent,
Yeah.
man. Right now, that's all you really need to concentrate on is getting reviews. Once you get
Mm-hmm.
about 50 reviews, right? You still need to get more reviews and concentrate on getting reviews. But then what's going to happen is you're going to start seeing a snowball effect with jobs, right?
Mm.
Especially if you optimize your website and your Google business page, right?
Yeah.
Um, you're going to find that you're going to start getting a lot more traction SEO wise. Google's going to start thinking you are an authority site and so on and so forth, right? And so they're going to start pushing you up the ladder, as they will, and you'll get more exposure. Okay,
Okay.
you're in a city though that has a lot of big companies out there. You got Works
We do.
Moving out
That's why I'm
there.
like,
You got all these big moving companies, right? But that said, it's also a big city that's got a couple of million people in it. So, you know what I mean? So you can get business. You just need to get more exposure. As you get more and more positive 5-star reviews, the higher you can charge, the more you can charge, right? The more you charge, the more then you can start affording, the more that you can afford getting more guys to come in and replace you. Does that make sense?
Exactly. Yeah.
So you need to concentrate on getting business in, getting those reviews, start building. On an immediate basis, I would start raising your prices on Thumbtack, right? Do it slowly, right? Because you don't until you've got more sources that bring you in business. You don't want to alienate what's getting you the business right now.
Exactly.
Right. So, but I would probably, if I were you, I would raise my prices like about $10 an hour, from 99 to like 120 an hour. Right. Once you get a website up and you get all these business pages from like Facebook and Google and Yelp, and they're going into your website, and you start building up that reputation, then you're going to start seeing that you're going to have more and more sources of business come in, right? Continue doing what you're doing now, and then just kind of push it along. So really take this time now because you're in the summertime, it's busy season. Start, why the sun is out, you need to make hay. So start making a lot of money and start building up these resources. And people come. When you do that and you raise your prices, you can pay people more, right? And then you can start getting better ideas. Now, when you hire people, you got to go from the point of hire people from the point of view in the future of what you want your company to be. Okay? Don't hire somebody from what you need right now. Right? You want to hire for what's going to be in the future. What do I mean by that? Right now, you just need bodies to help you get jobs done. Right? You could care less if they're trained, untrained, doesn't matter. You just need somebody you could throw on a truck, work with you, right, and get the job done. Right? That's all you really need right now. But in the future, you're going to need guys who are trained, who are loyal, that've got cars. They don't need to get driven to work by their mommy or their girlfriend. You know what I mean? You don't want to hire punk ass boys. You want to get men, right? Responsible adult men who don't bring drama to the workplace. You know what I mean? I mean, that's who I try to hire. So what you want to do is you want to find out what's the qualities you want from the guys who are going to be in the future when you've got that multi-million-dollar business. What kind of guys do you want representing your company? Does this make sense?
Makes sense, yeah.
So from that quality, you got to list out. And I need you to get actual pen and paper, not do it on a computer. Actually, pen and paper. This is what I want for my ideal labor guy, right? He needs to be responsible. What does responsibility mean? He needs to be loyal. What does loyalty mean? He needs to be, articulate. What does that mean? He needs to be customer first approach. What does that mean? Whatever the qualities that person in the future that's representing you has, you need to list all of that out, right? Once you have that, then you also now know what you don't want. You know what I mean? So based on that, and then what you need to do is once you have all those listings, you know what you want, what you need, then you start putting ads in Reddit and in Facebook and Indeed and all these other places, and start looking for those candidates that are going to fill those qualities. Right? Good. So, and when you got those guys that fit those qualities, pay them above average that you can afford. See, in my area, typical movers, most moving companies only pay movers between $12 to $15 an hour. Me, I start my guys out at 18. Okay. That's what I start my guys out. Most of my guys are making 20 an hour. Does this make sense?
Yep.
So they don't have to. So because they're making $20 an hour, they also get their bonuses because we have bonus program, and they get tips. So between their pay, their bonus, and their tips, these guys are making more in 4 hours than most people make in a week. Right? I literally have guys that are making $100 to $150 per day, working 4 to 5 hours because of tips, bonus, and pay. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
So, but I don't skimp out. I don't just hire anybody that has a pulse. And if I do hire somebody like that, they're gone very quickly. I don't keep them around. You know, if they don't fit the company culture, they're gone. I don't waste my time. I hire slowly and I fire quickly. You don't have time to build a company with losers. And you're going to have to kiss a lot of frogs before you get a prince. I don't know how many frogs you're going to have to kiss before you find a prince, but it's going to have to, that's what you got to do. Right? Don't get me wrong. Right now, if you need help, get help. Right? Train them, get them to do the best job you can, but just get the help. But but going on, systematic, get the help you need right now that's going to get you the job done. Train them up as best you can, but start hiring for the future. Okay? The same way with pricing start pricing your stuff. Where do you want to be making that kind of money? What kind of prices do you need to be charging? So you need to systematically start getting the reviews and the reputation so that you can raise your prices that can justify you making $2, $3, $4, $10 million a year. Okay? So you got to start thinking in futures and not right now. Right? Now, don't get me wrong. You got to fill the need right now. So do that. But as to coming to build your company, you got to start thinking, what do you need for the future? Does this make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay. But so right now, in the immediate thing, you just need to get more income sources. So one thing I would do is that I would increase your prices on Thumbtack to $120. Right? I would sign up for a moving helper and hire a helper. Do moving helper first. Because technically, you're not allowed to be on any other platform like moving helper due to their terms and services says you can't be on any other platform while you know what I mean? So once you get signed up with them and you start doing some jobs for them, then you can sign up for hire helper and all those other things. Because moving helper will do a search for you and your company on other platforms. And if they see that you're on other platforms, they won't take you in. Right? It's BS, it's bullshit, but it is what it is. So get up with them first, get set up, set yourself up on them, set your area that you're going to operate, set up your prices, blah, blah, blah. It's pretty simple. Start your prices off low, build up, get 10, 15, 20, for every after 10 reviews, after every 5 reviews after 10, start raising your prices up by like $5, right? Because there's going to be guys who have been on moving helper for 10, 15, 20 years that are, and you're going to say, wow, they're charging $400, which is like $200 an hour, right? Because they've got the reviews and the reputation to do so, right? And that's great. And people will hire them at those prices. But they're not going to hire you, some no name that has no reviews, you know what I mean, at that price. Some will go off of Moving Helper, find your Google review and your website and stuff like that, and hire you. Right? But most won't. Most will just go and it's a commodity. They're going to go for the lowest person. But it'll be another source. It'll be another source of jobs, another source of income that you will get. Right?
Yeah.
Just know that the way Moving Helper and Hire Helper make money is they take a percentage of the job. For example, if you get paid $100, Moving Helper will take 15% of that. So you will only get $85, right? Hire Helper will take more. They'll take about a third of the price off of the list. So just know that's how they make their money. Okay? But the more you get, more reviews that you get through these systems, the more you can increase your prices. Right? Right. But as far as your own personal rates, if somebody comes to you, finds you because they found you on Google or whatever, you want to charge this is where you could charge your full rate, right? So you want to have a rate that's going to be pretty mean. Me, I charge 145 and I'm in a very depressed area as compared to you. I'm in an area that doesn't have anywhere near the amount of people you do. I have in my greater Lansing area, there's only about 300 to 350,000 people in the greater area, right? Including all the little suburbs and everything. You're in Atlanta. You've got a couple many. You got Marietta. You've got, obviously Atlanta, all the areas, you got a huge area that you can work in. So you got millions of people. So your basic rate might be $175 and be able to get 175. Because I know that like the full service moving companies like 2 Men in a Truck, Works Moving and Storage, College Hunks, they're charging for a two-man crew with the truck in your area. They're charging about $225 per hour.
Yeah.
Right? To $250 an hour. I know for a fact that they are.
Yeah,
right?
With hourly minimums and with the extra hour for total traffic.
Right.
Yeah.
So you should be able to get 150 to 175 an hour for your full service. So if somebody hires you through one of these platforms, yeah, they're going to get a bit of a discount. But if they hire you off of your website, then you can charge them your full rate.
Yeah.
Does this make sense?
Yeah.
And what you need to do is you need to start charging your full rate on these jobs that people find you. Now, where can you advertise that's affordable, that's not a bunch of tire kickers and losers? This is the question, right? That I would suggest that you start driving traffic to your website. Once you got your website up and you got it going and you got it hosted and you got your Google business page optimized, I would start running ads through Google pay-per-click campaigns and YouTube pay-per-click campaigns, right? I would also start doing Facebook advertising campaigns, right? YouTube will be very inexpensive. None of your competitors are doing it really. Some of the big moving van line companies are doing YouTube ads these days. 2 Men in a Truck are doing YouTube ads, but for the most part, no one's doing YouTube ads. None of your direct competitors are really doing YouTube ads. So you could do YouTube ads. You could get a 30-second to 1 minute commercial about your services made fairly cheaply these days. You can go to Fiverr or Upwork and have somebody put together a commercial for you for $200-300. Okay. And then you just start running those videos on your competitors' websites, YouTube channels, and real estate agent channels, right? Matter of fact, I'm going to go to YouTube right now, and I'm going to show you something here. Okay. Just give me 1 second, and I'll show you. Don't worry, I'll share this with you here. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen with you. I'm going to just take us off. Okay, can you see the screen now?
Yep.
All right, so this YouTube channel is called The Basics of Living in Atlanta, Georgia. This is the title of the video. It's by a guy who has living in Atlanta. He's got 13,000 subscribers. This video has almost 10,000 views, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I want to show you something.
See content, editing like a pro, and streaming like a star was.
See that? This is an ad. Now, if you've got an ad that you made a 30-second to 1 minute video, even could be a full 10-minute video if you want to make a 10-minute video. But you could put your video on this guy's channel, so every one of his videos that pop up, your ad will show up right at the beginning.
All right, so you're moving to Atlanta, but you don't know anything about.
See what I'm saying there?
Mm-hmm.
Good. So you could create a video and put it on those type of websites, right?
So who I reach out to him? I would reach out to like the creator directly, or how would I go about getting?
You just go through Google. It's through the Google.
Oh.
Find somebody that knows how to do Google ads, right?
Yeah.
And then ask them, do you know how to put up an ad on YouTube? If they say no, do not use that company because they're idiots. Seriously, it's not that hard. It's the same. So if you got someone who goes, I'm an expert at Google ads, you go, great. So you call somebody up and go, hey, you're an expert at Google ads. They go, yeah, great. So do you know how to put up YouTube ads? And they go, no, they're not an expert at Google ads. It isn't any different than doing a Google ad campaign. These guys, you're idiots, they're morons, and they're just trying to scam you. Right? Now, you can find these people to be able to do it very affordably. You can find some people who are overseas that'll do it for pennies on the dollar. You can go to places like Upwork or Fiverr or anything like that. You might even find somebody on Indeed that will do it for you. So you could put up an ad on Indeed, or you go in any one of these Facebook groups for your area, one of these community Facebook groups, and say, hey, I'm a small business located in Atlanta, Georgia. I've got this video. I need somebody that knows how to put these videos and advertise them at low cost on YouTube. Right? And I'm sure, especially in Atlanta, you'll get a bunch of recommendations. And then you start DMing them, start talking to them. Right? I mean, again, you want to hire the person that's going to help you for the future. Does this make sense? You don't want to just hire somebody because they're going to waste a lot of money. So you actually want to take the time and hire somebody that you feel comfortable with. Right? And then you just create a budget. And the neat thing is if you create an ad and somebody knows how to, you could take that same campaign and use it on Facebook. Right? Facebook/Instagram. You can then, you take that same campaign and run it on Pinterest and stuff. But Facebook and Google will be your best bet when it comes to paid per click. Now, I'm going to give you one other source that your competitors are not using, and they should be. I've had great success with it. I've been running ads on Reddit. I don't expect you to run ads on Reddit, but that is a great source. And you can run those ads on Reddit locally. Your competitors are not doing this. You will not find a moving company advertising their services on Reddit, which means you can get very, very cheap ads on Reddit. However, I have found the most bang for your buck on Reddit is just to go to different groups in the area. Like Atlanta, Georgia will have their own Reddit page, right? And then daily, go to them very daily and search through all the threads on that Reddit page for Atlanta. And anybody says, hey, I'm moving or I'm thinking about moving or whatever, then you just give them the best advice you can and then put a link to your website. And you will find you'll get a lot of people off of Reddit that will go and contact you. I've gotten a lot of people off Reddit by just using the organic searches and putting my blog posts, because I've written like over almost 90 blog posts on various different subjects. And I'll just write it. I'll give them some good advice and I'll send them and I'll put a link to one of my blog posts that is appropriate to what I just talked about. Right. And I'll get people coming to my website just because of that. Don't be spammy. Don't be salesy. Actually try to help somebody within the thread organically. You know what I mean? Try to give the information for free. Don't try to hold back or be, scummy or salesy or, try, you know what I mean? Just be open, honest, and transparent and go, hey, if you want some more information, take it for what you will. Go to I have a blog post that talks about this in more detail. And that's all you have to do. Right? But Reddit ads are working well and they're cheap. And Reddit ads are the new Craigslist. Back in the day when I started my moving business, Craigslist was the shit. You could put a post on Craigslist and get an ad within 10. You could get a response to your Craigslist ad post within 10 minutes. I know, I've done it many, many times. Right? Back then, Craigslist was the only place really that had this. And then back in the day in Craigslist, you could put photos in in the post. You could put a link to your website, and it was highly searchable in the search engines. Like Google loved Craigslist. So your website might not get any search engine love, but if you put a link to your website on Craigslist, you showed up highly in the search engines. That's back in 2008, right? Craigslist doesn't allow you to put links in on the page anymore, and they don't get any search engine love. But what Craigslist was back then, Reddit is now. If you do a search on Google right now, Reddit will be one of the top posts that they send you to. Just so you want to be on Reddit. I mean, even more so than Facebook. And here's the thing: Reddit allows you to post pictures. It allows you to post your link to your website and your blog posts. Right? And it gets a lot of love from Google. Google loves Reddit. I don't know. I think I heard a rumor that Google owns Reddit or is invested in Reddit or something like that. There's some sort of partnership, and that's why they do that. I don't know. Don't quote me. That's what I heard. If it's true, it's true. If it's not, I don't know. But that's where you need to go. So that's what I would, if I were you, that's what I would be doing on a right now basis.
Okay. Right? Last but not least, have you heard about what do you think about running ads on Nextdoor?
I don't use Nextdoor all that much. I have not heard anything against or for it. To me, what I would tell you to do is test it out, see how it works. Run a campaign for a month or two on it and see if you get any kind of response. I personally don't do it. I don't know how effective it is. It might be great, but I personally do not know.
Okay. I'll look into that, add that to the list amongst all this. Great value as always. I'm gonna definitely tap into the Reddit and the Google pay-per-clicks and build my digital platform like just wider, like you said, with Facebook, with either YouTube ads, just so I can be more omnipresent digitally, because that's what everybody doing. They're just looking at their phone 24/7. So just making sure I'm just
almost 70% of everybody that comes to me through mobile devices, their phone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And let me ask you this. This is the last question. So like when we talk about raising the prices and stuff. Now, when you do your pricing, do you do it like, okay, say like you got a basic move, right? Say you got two guys, they got a truck, and then they're pretty much just doing a load, transit, and then unload. Versus if you got somebody where like they need the beds broken down, they up 2 flights of stairs, like it's that, say if that basic price was 140 an hour, is that, what's the price if you have all those additional features need to be done outside of just a load, transit, and an unload?
Well, first of all, I'm not licensed technically to do full service moves, which is load, transport, unload. We could do
Yeah.
that here in the state of Michigan if it's you're not going more than 40 miles. 40 miles or more, you have to be licensed and insured as a
Yeah.
mover. Locally, you don't have to be licensed and insured if you're operating less than 39 miles or less, right?
Mm-hmm.
In my
Mm-hmm.
state. That might be different for your state. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But in my state, as long as you don't go more than 40 miles or more, you do not have to have you don't have to have be a professional licensed and insured mover. So
Mm-hmm.
when we do full service moves, it's always local. However, we do offer a service where we can help and facilitate the customer rent a truck and get a truck rented, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they could hire one of my guys to drive it, right?
Mm-hmm.
As a personal driver, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that's how we get around that if we're going to go do a long service, right? And that's a different contract with a different price rate and everything like that, right? Because technically, if we get the truck and we load up the truck, we drive it to a location and unload it, we have to be a licensed and insured mover for that service.
Mm-hmm.
If it's going 40 miles or more, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it's locally, no, we can just get a truck. However, if we're going to do something that's going to go more than 40 miles, we have to be licensed and insured. However, in our state, we could get around that thing with having, so I can hire you just to drive my truck for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to be a commercial driver. You do need to have a chauffeur's license here in the state of Michigan to drive a truck like that. But I could hire you as long as you had a chauffeur's license to drive my truck from one point in the state to another point in the state without being a company per se, right? And that requires a whole kind of different contract and everything. So we can facilitate something like that. However, my company concentrates just on labor only. So we'll do a load, we'll do an unload, right, into a truck, trailer, or storage, or from a truck, trailer, and storage, right? Sometimes we'll do both the load and unload. So they'll hire us to load a truck, follow them to the next place, and unload the truck, right? And that's okay. We find that price model is far more profitable for us than offering a full service model, right?
I'm saying, so how do you guys not get, okay, say if you coming to me and I'm a client, like how do you get that client to go with you guys when you're primarily doing labor only versus the guy that's saying, I'm gonna do the labor, I'm gonna bring the truck, you ain't got to worry about nothing. You see what I'm saying?
Well, and that's great. That's a great question. We just tell them that we'll give you the same VIP red carpet treatment that you expect with a full service mover. We're just going to do it at a do-it-yourself price, right? You'll save anywhere between 30 to 50% going through our service than you would with a full service mover, because we don't have the overhead that a full service like 2 men in a truck has or college hunks has, right? They've got the insurance on the trucks, they got the maintenance of the trucks, they got the fuel of the trucks, all of that stuff. We don't have to worry about that. So we can charge our labor only price and make a lot more money that way. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
So we can charge, we can give them the same service that they expect from 2 Men in a Truck, from start to finish, at 30 to 50% less than what they would with 2 Men in a Truck, right?
Yeah.
So after a year and a half, we've come down and we've been able to go, here's our value statement. This is what we can do for you. We could do everything you're expecting a full service mover to do, but here's how and why we could do it much cheaper than that.
And that makes sense. And you come out cheaper like that. And when you, like, I know you saying like the 149 rate for the 2 men, but like I said, when you have certain, because like I said, different moves is more nuanced. So you have like the regular moves, like you said, pick up the beds, boxes, everything already broken down. But then some moves, like my friend just told me something about like a loan carry fee or something like that. So basically, like one move we did, the unload where we could park the truck was so far from their apartment door. And then like the pickup location, we had to go up 3 flights of stairs. And so like, are you still charging that 149 regardless of that, or do you oscillate that price a little bit depending on how
right? The long carry fees, the stair fees, all of that's just big scam. I'm going to tell you that right now. You can do that.
Yeah.
A lot of companies do it, but it's just a scam to milk your customer, right? There's no reason, if you're charging an hourly charge, that you need to charge a long carry, heavy item fee. None of that, right? If you ask the right questions, right, and you tell the customer everything that they can expect, say, hey, look, the farther we have to walk, the longer it's going to take us. The heavier the items, the more people we have to bring, the more it's going to cost you. You just be straight up before they even book the move. Like I have a series of questions that I ask a customer. First of all, the first question is I go, how did you hear about us? Right? Then I'll ask, are you in a house, apartment, a townhouse, condo, storage? Right? And then they give me their answer. Right? And then, based on that answer, if they're like in an apartment, I go, what floor is your apartment on? Well, I'm on the 3rd floor. Great. Do you have an elevator? Well, no. Okay, so we got to go up. I now know we got to go up and down stairs. I go, are you moving to a house, storage, apartment, condo? Well, I'm moving to another apartment. Good. What floor is that apartment on? Right? And the people will answer these questions if you ask them in a professional and polite manner and tell them why you're asking those questions. And then I'll go, great. Once I got all that information, where they're moving from, how they heard about us, when they're moving, and all that good stuff, I'm going to ask them, all right, I'm going to ask you 4 more questions. And these questions are designed to basically find out how much people I need to bring and the equipment I need to bring. Right? And then I'll ask them, I go, is there anything heavy that might require 3 or more people? And then I'll give them some examples like pianos, pool tables, gun safes. Right? And then they'll say yes or no. I go, awesome, thank you. And while they're doing it, I'm noting that down, right? They say, yeah, I got a gun safe. I'll go, great. How many pounds is your gun safe? And they go, oh, I think when I bought it, it was a 600-pound gun safe. I now know I'm going to need 4 people, and I'm going to need a couple of big dollies for that. You know what I'm saying? Now I know exactly how much those dollies and how much those people's cost. Good. So now I know, okay, we're going up 3 flights of stairs, down 3 flights of stairs. I get this gun safe. You know what I mean? I'm going to need 4 people. I'm going to need this equipment. Then my next question will be, great, is there anything that will need special handling or crating, like antiques, artwork, TVs? And they'll say yes or no. If they say yes, good. Now I know what that is, and I now know how much that's going to be. You see what I'm saying? My third question will be, good. Is there anything long or oddly shaped, like canoes, kayaks, ladders, right? Or sculptures? They'll go yes or no. I'll go, okay, based on that, I now know, blah, 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 right? Okay, good. My final question is there going to be any gas-powered equipment, like lawnmowers, generators, power washers, it's anything like that. And they'll say yes or no. And based on those questions, I now know that I need 3, 4 guys, or I don't need them, or whatever. And then based on that information, I'll go, okay, good. Your price, you've got a gun safe at 600 pounds. I'm going to need 4 guys for this job, especially if we got to go up. We got to go down 3 flights of stairs and there's no elevator. And we got to go up 3 flights of stairs and there's no elevator. Right? And they'll go, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured too, blah, blah, blah. I go, good. My 4-man price it's $300 an hour. There's a 2-hour minimum. Time starts when we leave our office to the time we get, or in your case, it's $300 an hour. There's a 2-hour minimum plus a $150 trip charge. You know what I'm saying? And boom, they go, yeah, that's pretty affordable. And you go, that's right. If you were to go to 2 men in a truck, it was going to cost you about $400 an hour. Time's going to start, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So you're going to be paying about 25 to 30% more if you got 2 men in a truck versus us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So letting them know the value that they receive by going to alternative. Yeah, because I was talking to what was it? All My Sons. Like the lady said she didn't care if the move was 30 minutes. It was $176 an hour, 3-hour minimum, additional $176 for total travel time. Like it was crazy. Like just for them to show up, you looking at like $750.
Yeah. A full service mover is not going to do a 2-bedroom apartment for less than $700 to $800, right?
Yeah.
I could do a 2-bedroom apartment for 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Right. So who do you think they're going to go with? Me or All My Sons? But all these accessorial services, if you're doing an hourly price, there's no need to be charging that. All that is a money grab. It's a scam. And I would say, look, they're scamming you. There's no reason if they're charging you hourly that they need to charge it. Because if there's a long trip or a bunch of elevators, it's going to take you as long as it's going to take you to go up and down those stairs. Right? The only thing I would charge more is basically if I need more people to do the job. So there's a piano or a gun safe or something that I got to take up, then I need more people to do the job. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to take as long as it's going to take. Doesn't matter if I got 2 people, 3 people, 4 people there. If I got to go up, if I got to walk 200 feet from the truck to the apartment, and then I got to go up 3 flights, it's going to take me as long as it takes anyway. Why do I need to charge?
That's why I be telling clients, like, I don't know what they like. Like some clients I be turned down. If it don't sound good on the phone, they sound too budget sensitive, or they hit you with, oh, these guys got it done in 2 hours. Like, hire those guys, because
that's what I tell them. I said, I'm not the guy for you.
Yeah, it's not, all that stuff is not going to get done in 2 hours. The distance is 15 miles away.
And you look like an idiot if you argue with him and go, wow, that's and someone go, well, I was told that so-and-so could do it in 2 hours at this price. And I'm like, wow, that's a great deal. You need to jump on that deal right away. I can't do it for that price, and I'm not going to. I do not. I'll give a discount, to get a job, but I'm not giving that much of a discount.
Yeah, to the point where it make it like
I've got to make my money.
Yeah,
I've got to make money.
Especially
I'm not
with
going to lose money. I'm not going to lose money doing a job. Just not going to do it. Yeah. It's, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do it. So so I'll do a job, but I'm not going to do it for a loss. And if someone wants me to do it at a price that's going to be a loss, I'll tell them I won't do it. I would rather say, no, you need to go find somebody that can do it at the price that you're looking for. And you'll be surprised by holding your ground, especially if you got the reputation. If you hold your ground, right, that 2 days later they're calling you because you're the best price. And they're not finding anybody that true, you know what I mean? They're just trying to, most what they're trying to do is they're trying to use that as a negotiation tactic to get you to lower your price.
Mm.
And so if you
Wow.
hold your ground, you got to know what you're worth, right? It's okay to discount to get the job if you know what I mean? But at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, you got to know what your price is, right? And if
Mm-hmm.
it goes lower than that price, you do not do the job, period. Because the people
Exactly.
who are tire kickers and doing the cheap stuff, those are the guys who are going to give you the bad reviews, who are going to do the damage claims. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
These guys,
that's the crazy. Them the worst ones. The ones that you did the biggest discount for. That's who's gonna give you your bad reviews.
right? And I'll leave them and go, hey, that's a great price, but let me leave you with this, right? You get what you paid for. If you pay for a cheap service, you're going to get cheap. If you go for cheap movers, you're going to get cheap service. So it's up to you what
Mm-hmm.
you want. If that's what you want, awesome, great. I'm not the guy for you. But if you want a good, high quality, 5-star, professional move by people who will actually care for your stuff and do the right thing for you, then call me back when you know what I mean, and just be professional. There's no reason to argue with them. I learned this lesson. Don't argue with them. Don't try to hard sell them. They're not worth it. Because these
right.
are the guys who are going to leave you bad reviews. These are guys who are going to do damage claims. You know what I mean? Don't even bother with them. Right? I hate to say it,
Yeah.
but if you want to be successful, then you got to deal with successful people. You know what I mean?
Wow. That's real. And I'm gonna leave you with this because we finna wrap up. And I appreciate everything. Like I said, I appreciate all you do for the moving community. I appreciate the wisdom. It helps out people a lot because this one of the feels like in this crazy economy, like this ain't going nowhere. People gonna always need to move. Like it just is, and that's another reason why people got to move. We move so many people who have to downsize or move in with families, so we're always working. But to your point, it's funny. So this guy called me. Well, he sent me a text. So I was bidding for his business. He didn't go with me because he thought I was too pricey. He liked how I spoke over the phone. He liked my mannerism. But he said I just found an offer that was much cheaper. And end up going with those guys. I didn't think anything else about it. Um, he ended up sending me photos. He was like, just so you know, this was like 3 days after we spoke. He was like, just so you know, you guys damaged my dresser. You broke my mirror, and you put some dents in our wall. I got on the phone. I called him. I said, sir, you sent this to the wrong company. I said, so those guys you decided to go with, so they tore pretty much everything? And then he found out who I was. He instantly hung up the phone. He hung up the phone. But it goes back to your point. You get what you pay for. I think those guys was like, I don't know how much cheaper they were, but it was significantly cheaper. And I was already giving him a fair price. And so he went with those guys, and it didn't end well.
Exactly. So, I mean, and that happens. I can't tell you how many times I've had stories like that myself where somebody called me and goes, you're so-and-so, right? I'm like, yeah. You guys moved us. And I'll look up my records and go, sir, I don't have you in my records as moving you. Right. And I go, no, I talked to you. And then I'll go, but, yeah, I see that we gave you a phone quote because I got a CRM. And we talked to you over the phone, but you decided you wanted to go with a different company. Right. And they're like, right. And they go, yeah, well, I'm calling because they damaged a bunch of stuff. I was like, well, I don't mean to be rude, but I told you so. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And what CRM do you like the best? What CRM do you like for moving?
Right now, what I'm using a CRM that goes through Go High Level, but I do not like Go High Level. I'm transitioning over to a CRM that's WordPress based, which I can get on a yearly basis for $150 a year. That will do everything that I need it to do. That it'll do everything that I need it to do, and that'll be a one-time yearly charge. Right now, Go High Level, the lowest they charge is $100 a month, and so you're looking $1,200 a year, and it's so janky. You got to have it's a bunch of freaking small programs put into one that don't talk to each other well, and it's just like so you got to do, if you do something in this program, then you got to go to another program and do a bunch of stuff so that they can talk to each other. And it's just like, it's not worth it. So I like it. I like it a lot. It does everything. It does invoicing for me. It collects payments, but I can get all that same stuff on WordPress options. And I could just pay a one-time yearly charge on it. And it's going to be 40 to 50% cheaper.
That makes sense. Awesome. But I appreciate your time tonight. I'm gonna keep checking out your content. Like I said, it's invaluable. And I was looking up information. I was like, I want to learn more about the moving service. So your stuff always pops up on YouTube. It always pops up. So keep putting out the great content. Feel free to share any content that we record, and just keep pushing that moving line, because it's a lot of us nationwide that's out here doing the same type of work in different markets. But moving not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere.
There will always be a need for movers.
Yeah,
you can't use AI for moving.
The AI be dropping dresses on people and kids and all type of stuff. Like, it'd be crazy. Yep. Crazy. But thank you, Mr. J. You have a great rest of your night, and I appreciate everything. Okay.
Thank you for talking with me, and I hope to hear some great things from you. Thanks a lot.
Will do. All right. Take care now.
All right. Bye-bye.